Oh, wait, I think I forgot to press a button. I'm supposed to hit an intro or something like that, right? It's been too long. What is going on? Welcome to episode 498 Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh. We got Johnny Bo. What's up, baby?
What's up? It's been a while.
Too long. We got Crawler.
Hey, how's it going? Crawler coming at you.
We don't have Cheesy.
Good.
But we do have Thunderstash Gaming. What's going on?
What's up? Happy to be here. Always so much to talk about, especially with this lead up to April 2nd. So
Oh, yes.
I'm ready to throw down with you guys.
It is gonna be a show. And since it's been a minute since we've all kind of come together, like we've got 3 topics to cover. We're gonna talk about Switch 2 and obviously the announcement, and there's been plenty of back and forth online of people saying, oh, they haven't done enough and they haven't innovated and blah 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 blah. And so I kind of want to just break all that down with you guys. We have a potential direct happening in February and a for sure direct happening in April, so I thought we could maybe get into some predictions with that. And then I think this is gonna be the most fun, is we're gonna come up with our top 5 must play Switch games, but we cannot have any duplicate picks. So that means if 2 people say Mario Kart, the person that had Mario Kart on their list next has to come up with something else. And we're going to basically build a list of I didn't know if it was going to be 25 or 20. Wasn't sure if Cheesy was going to make it or not. So we're going to end with the top 20 Switch games. Now, the reason for this is because of the Switch 2 being backwards compatible, and there's going to be I've even had people in my chat saying like, "Yo, I'm going to get into Nintendo for the first time in a while." Like they've skipped this generation. And so I figured, you know what? Let's come up with like a significant list of must play from multiple perspectives. So before we do that, though, I want to just hear what everybody's playing. Stash, with you being our special guest, we'll start with you.
Sure. So I just finished Indiana Jones. Played it on the
Nice.
Series S. And that's a game that I expect to see on Switch too.
Wait, did you say Series S?
Yeah.
It worked. It runs fine.
Yeah, actually, that was something I wanted to talk about. Is it runs great? It runs 60 FPS.
Yeah, the rumor is Switch 2 could run Series S games. So
Exactly. That's the logic. That's the logic I employ with Series S games and possible Switch 2 ports. If it runs on Series S, it's going to run on Switch 2. So yeah, that was actually a big reason too why I wanted to play it. And again, late last year I played Black Ops 6, reviewed that, played it on Series S as well for the same reason. Ran great, played great, looked great. Played it on my 150-inch projector screen, still looked great.
Phil Spencer just he let the cat out of the bag early, saying that they were going to make Call of Duty for Switch.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I just finished that. I put up my review yesterday, and that's a game I'm looking forward to returning to because DLC is coming out in the spring, and the story was actually very good. We put it on par with Raiders of the Lost Ark and Last Crusade as far as stories go. I think they actually did a better job with the game than they did with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull and Dial of Destiny. Like, by far. Yeah, I would walked away extremely impressed. Like, wow. Was not expecting this from Machine Games. So pretty impressed. Outside of that, this is what I'm working on right now is the Retroid Pocket 5 review. And I'm playing, not yet, I'm going to start tomorrow, Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D. So that's what I'm doing.
Very cool. Very cool. And real quick before we move on, where can people catch your content?
YouTube, Thunder Stash Gaming. The stash is spelled like a stash of money, not like mustache. Mustache
it's stash with the E instead of crawler without the E.
Yeah, it's spelled STASH because the normal way of spelling mustache is very commonly misspelled. So I spelled it the other way.
There we go.
But that's where you guys find me. That's where all my reviews are. I review video games. That's what I do.
And a lot, and all kinds of games, like from retro games to indie games to AAA, like, and they are very well done reviews. So if you guys are looking for somebody to looking for reviews, go and check out Thunder Sash. Well, Crawler, what have you been up to? What have you been playing? Looks like you built a few Lego behind you there. Looks like the collection has grown.
It's grown a little bit. Johnny's got the same one back there, so it's a good one to have for the best 2D Mario game of all time.
Oh no!
Here we go. It's already started.
I picked up just earlier this week. I picked up Donkey Kong. I had said I wasn't going to, but Costco discounts it a little bit, so I picked it up for $53 or whatever it was, and been playing that. So I think I beat World 1 last night. Just kind of taking my time with that, but jumping in pretty much every day, kind of doing Black Ops and Fortnite stuff, and just kind of getting through those battle passes, and still stitching. I got
still stitching.
I dropped my Spotify, and I got the Apple all in whatever it is. It comes with Apple Arcade and other stuff. So Stitch is on my phone as well. So when I do the daily, I just do it on one, then I do it on the other, and it's the same thing. So, but Stitch on my phone is a lot better than it is on Switch, because they add like 2 or 3 new puzzles every week, just because they can update it that much fast. It doesn't have to go through kind of certification, all that kind of stuff. So there's just more stuff. So I've started playing Stitch again for a second time on my phone. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of been it. I saw that there was new stuff that dropped today. I haven't updated my Switch yet for SNES games. Did they drop anything else on any other platform, or was it just
just
Saint of Fury, Super Ninja, I think.
Yeah, Johnny can play his Smash main.
Terry.
Terry, yes.
Terry Bogard.
Love it.
Well, they made a game for the guy in Smash. Didn't know that.
Here we go. And Crawler, where can people connect with you?
Best spots are probably TikTok and Blue Sky, because Twitter is a cesspool. Nightcrawler724, Nightcrawlers without the E.
Right on. And Johnny, what have you been up to these days?
I've been also playing Donkey Kong. I love it. It's super overpriced though. It should not have been $60 because they did not add anything. There is. Am I like jumping?
Yeah, you're going.
Your audio's going up and down, and
it sounds know what's like going on. I turned that off.
The auto gain is off still. Yeah, it's interesting. It sounds like you're moving away from your mic and coming back to it, and moving away from it and coming back to it. You know, we're doing it live.
How low is that? Low? Like if that's really low.
That's pretty low.
Yeah, it almost sounds like it's maybe. I wonder, is it connected to the right microphone?
It is.
Yeah, okay. Like the software though, like the website connected to your right mic.
Yeah.
Yeah. You sound good now.
You sound better now.
Yeah, because I turned it back up.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what it's doing. It's stupid. Anyway, I'm playing Donkey Kong. It's good, but it's also, come on.
Oh, you know what? The auto gain, you should check the auto gain again since I hit record, because I've literally had people in this studio and they had the Shure microphone, and I watched their gain go from 0 all the way up and then back to 0 again. The auto gain like takes control of the mic, like the hardware, and it's unbelievable. So Cryptic's calling you out. Johnny Bo's audio is messed up. Like they're not letting it slide. So now Cheesy would think this is perfect. Now you're not heard at all. Like we're just seeing lips move.
How about now?
Yep, there you are.
All right, this is a thrilling audio podcast. Sorry. Hopefully that fixed it. It's not jumping right now. But Donkey Kong, I recommend it, but maybe wait for a sale if they're ever going to do a sale.
Or go to Costco and get it for $7 off or whatever.
Or you know what? I actually paid $50 for it because digital life here.
But you double dip. You double dip on everything.
I didn't double dip on this one yet.
Okay.
But then I'm also playing Balatro. I got back into it because Cheesy is actually into Balatro now. He did not want to play it for months and months and months to spite me. And now, since it was nominated for Game of the Year, he's like, "Oh, I guess I'll try it out since other people think it's okay as well."
Anybody other than John recommended it?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Balatro is fantastic. If you haven't checked it out, you really should. It's on your phone. It's on Switch. It's on every platform, I think. Yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Very cool. And where can people connect with you?
I'm Johnny Bo everywhere: Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Apparently, there's a new Blue Sky video platform, possibly TikTok, so I'll probably be there.
Nice.
Also, the Communication Error podcast with Cheesy.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, I've been playing a lot, you guys. I got to go through Wonder and see what I think I'm missing. Maybe one flagpole, and so I think after that, it's going to take me to the very last, the final stage where you got to do the badge run or whatever.
Have you not done that yet?
No, not the final one. No,
He's scared.
My video's not great because the audio's off and I never posted it, but I did that run seamless all the way through, no deaths.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
Which is it took me a while to do that.
Oh,
that's a really fun level.
Yeah, like the badge challenge, right?
Yep.
Is that what we're talking about? Yeah. So I guess I have that left. That's my last thing. Yesterday I had to grind purple coin so I could get the rest of the standees because I wasn't spending the money when I had full. And so then it was like, oh no, this ended up biting me later, So
you're like what, 2 years late to this party?
Oh yeah, I'm just.
But at least you're there. I mean, at least
a year and a half late to the party.
Yeah. But I mean, you guys might have heard me mention it, but I went through Dread again. And was like, it's so good, and there's just, I'm also playing Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, and typical me, I keep getting to bosses that I'm 1 or 2 levels under, so then I have to leave, and I refuse to put it in casual mode because I want to just say I did it in non-casual mode for whatever reason. But I'm having the story in Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. Oh my God, so good! It is incredible.
Did you see the amiibo news today that you might actually be able to get your Mithra?
I did. They were just available not too long ago.
I imported mine.
And GameStop apparently has them listed. They're looking for a reprint to come out probably around when X comes out.
Oh, nice, very cool. Yeah,
I think I imported mine for $50. They weren't that expensive.
Okay, I'll have to check that. So, I played a little bit. I bought the battle pass for Star Wars Hunters, so I've done a little bit of that here and there, and I didn't spend much money in that game. But the Sentinel has a cool Scout Trooper outfit, and his gun looks like the front of a speeder bike. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna get this one. But other than that, I haven't spent much money in that game. But that's been pretty fun. I doing a little bit of Metroid Prime. I've been kind of all over the place, just really trying to hit my backlog.
You should just choose one and beat it, and then go to the next one, beat it.
So
I'm jumping around so much.
I know I'm jumping around a ton. Because I also but started playing Strikers again and doing the cups on that because I'm like, I gotta see, I want to do a video on the sports games and what went wrong with them. And that game is the gameplay loop is so good. And then they just drop the ball so bad on content, so bad on content.
We had fun in person playing that game.
Oh, it's so fun in person. But again, we should be able to have that same experience online, and they neutered the online, so we couldn't do it.
Yep. Last time we were talking, you had just beat Tears of the Kingdom, yeah?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Which was fantastic. So see, I'm just going back and cleaning up the backlog. I'm level 18 on Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So I'm gonna start
is
that
that
up.
a lot?
Level 18?
No.
Yeah. No.
No. I mean, I'm thinking you get to level 100 at least.
I want to go back to that too, because I got into that for a bit last year. It's just kind of overwhelming. It's just a lot.
I need to do the DLC. I beat 3, but I need to do the DLC, and then I need to finish. I never finished definitive.
Torna is also what I need to go back to as well. And I went into this random streamer on YouTube. He had no viewers, and so I was like, I'm just gonna chat with this guy. And like,
how'd you find somebody with 0 viewers on YouTube? Like, discoverability is
they were on the front page.
Really?
They were on my front page. Yeah, because I think I've been like searching for, like, I'm like, is there a way to like grind XP fast? Like, is there a certain location or whatever?
Go fight a wall, Josh.
And they have these techniques where you can like knock enemies off, and then like and I'm like, I'm not doing any of this. Like, I just jumped back into the normal grind. I found a little loop that I'm just doing.
Oh, you never played Elden Ring, where we shot a little dragon bird and he'd run off the side, and that's how we got XP.
No, that's
you should check out Nish Quick Pops. He does a lot of Xenoblade stuff.
Oh, I wonder if I found him by chance. I mean, I don't know. They've just, a lot of them have been popping up in my feed now. So
he's on he's been on the show with Nate and
okay. Oh,
yeah,
cool.
Nice guy.
Oh, that's really cool. Really cool. So we all watched the Direct today, I'm sure, the Xbox Direct, and I saw Cryptic ask the question, like, do we think all those games are going to be on Switch 2?
100%. I think
pretty good chance.
Sorry, I didn't.
No, you're good. No, you're good.
So when the Switch 2 got announced last week, people were like, "Oh, this is going to give third parties a chance to announce their games for the Switch 2." I don't think they're allowed to.
No, they're under NDA until April.
Yeah, like, I don't think they can announce until April, because there's no reason why Ninja Gaiden 2 Black would not be on the Switch 2. Maybe not 4.
Especially Dark Ages. That whole series has been on Switch.
Yeah. Yeah, everything that they showed today, maybe, I don't know, is South of Midnight exclusive?
Nope.
No?
Everything said PS5.
Anymore.
Everything had PS5 at the end.
They want the money.
Yeah, so I think that's all coming. That's all coming. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
I guess on the topic of that, are you guys worried that indies are going to get buried because there's going to be a lot more AAA third-party support?
It'll depend. They'll just have to be careful with their release windows. Like, and I think Nintendo does a pretty good job of working with them to kind of
they'll still
make
do indie directs probably.
Yeah, we'll still see indie showcases and whatnot. I will say I did download Ninja Gaiden Black or 2. I loved both the first and the second game are way up there on my list of must play games, and it is so gorgeous with Unreal 5. Like,
is that a separate tile, or is it an update to what's already there?
No, it's a separate.
It's 84 gigs.
They weren't quick on hitting the button, because I was like searching the shop like while the direct was going on this morning, and it wasn't up there, but like all the old stuff was.
As soon as the direct ended, it was there.
I had to drive into work as they were finishing the direct.
Gotcha.
So I was doing it while I was.
Wow, you should have quit your job.
Yeah, what are you doing? Yeah, but it no, and it play. I was getting messages from Thunderstash like, am I getting a link? And I'm like trying to get to a save point real quick because I didn't want to like have to go back. And so, but man, what a fantastic, like, it's buttery smooth. The graphics are just unreal. Like,
they're gonna give one that treatment,
intended.
You think?
Well, so Ninja Gaiden Black already exists, right?
But
it's not the
Unreal
like
5
the current gen upgrade. I could I don't know. I mean, they might do it. And then there's 3 as well.
which is no one talks about because it was
Sigma or whatever?
It was when that one's on Wii U, by the way. It was
The launch
It
title.
is on Wii U.
yeah.
Razor's Edge.
Yeah.
Did you have to sit there and slash with your Wiimote?
No,
It was on Wii
but
U.
Yeah, they still had Wiimote support on Wii U.
it was just not like they lost, like, I don't know, like they had like the Rockstar developer that worked at Team Ninja for the longest time. I can't remember what his name was.
Dude, 4 looks so good.
It does with Platinum involved.
Platinum Games and
Yes.
Team Ninja. It's gonna be sick.
Yeah, like Bayonetta meets Ryu Hayabusa, and all I can think about is we got to get Ryu in Smash finally. Like we were calling for him. We were wanting him in Smash.
Sakurai's been at work for 3 years. I mean, I'm sure something's happening.
Yeah, Super Smash Brothers Ultimate Deluxe.
Yeah, Chief, Ryu. After that, I don't care about anybody else. Waluigi for everybody that wanted him.
Jonesy.
Jonesy. Oh my god, that'd be amazing. So, but yeah, so that's, I mean, that's what I've been playing, which is just a lot. Of course, Mario Kart all the time, Mario Party Jamboree all the time. Like that game has taken over streams, so we've been having too much fun with that. And then Nate's mentioned in the 2D Ninja Gaiden as well, which looked
Ragebound. Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Ragebound. Yeah, we got 2 Ninja Gaidens announced in the last 2 months.
Yeah.
And if we want to count the one we got today, it's actually really 3 Ninja Gaidens in 2 months. Which is wild.
The 2D one was confirmed for Switch.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. Where did they show that? Was that at a PlayStation event?
The Game Awards.
It was Game Awards. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Okami 2 have any consoles on it?
It was like a teaser. I don't think it had anything.
Okay.
And we're probably
like
a couple years out,
probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into topic number 1, which is your thoughts on the Switch 2 announcement. Johnny, you want to kick us off here?
Thunder Stash ruined it for me.
Oh,
sorry. He's with Nintendo Prime, so these people that talk about the leaks, man, they ruined it for me. They ruined it for me. I mean, I'm really excited that it got announced, but I am a bit disappointed that we already knew what it was. I think they waited too long to reveal it after it got leaked. Like we knew what this thing looked like back in September, and then the 4 months leading up to the actual reveal, like we were just getting info, and after info, like it would have been really cool to not know about the IR sensor in the inside of the controller, like to see the mouse feature.
I feel like if we didn't know about the mouse capabilities, I feel like that would have gotten missed in the trailer. It was not explained, like it was just a passerby thing.
Yeah, but people have been like, "What was that?"
Well, yeah, but like because we knew that there was that potential rumor, like and leak. As soon as I saw it, I was like, "Oh, that's cool. That's what that is." You snap it into an attachment, and it becomes a mouse. I mean, I feel like a lot of it would have gotten missed, especially the mouse stuff, if it hadn't been leaked. We would have had to wait until April to kind of get that confirmation.
Yeah, but also Mario Kart looks awesome, so I'm excited. Sucks that we have to wait 2.5 more months, but at least we saw it. At least it's real. We know it's coming.
Who thinks we're going to get disappointed by Nintendo and 24-player Mario Kart's only going to be a select small event or like team racing or something like that, but not a normal thing?
It's only once.
It's going to be a gimmick. It's going to be a gimmick thing.
It's going to be like Salmon Run, but only once every month.
I think based on Super Mario Party Jamboree, which I said this in a video yesterday, I think there's going to be so much in this next Mario Kart. They've had 10 years to be refining this, adding to it, and my hope is that not only are we getting like a crazy arcade style 24 players, but that there's the potential for it to play somewhat like Forza Horizon, where we're running around in these bigger open worlds doing like single player stuff. But then
Diddy Kong Racing style.
Oh,
Diddy
Forza
Kong
Horizon
Racing.
is so good. I
Right.
hope it's like that.
Yeah, well, the reason I think that is because of that food that is under the diner. It looks like a bag of food, and I'm like, we're gonna be door dashing in Mario Kart. We're just gonna be running like like Toadsworth's gonna need his order of burgers from Yoshi, and we just gotta get them to him quick.
So
And
now I'm thinking if it's Forza Horizon, like you drive around and there's different events like on the map, and each thing is different. Like they could have like an off-roading event or a street race. I don't know if they probably do have different amounts of racers, but yeah, I could see like if you drive around and then you find a 24 racer event, find like a 200cc event, like that would be really cool. I hope. And I want that now.
My thought too is that like Mario Brothers Circuit is the world that will be in that may have, and I'm just using arbitrary numbers, but let's say 9 tracks, right? And so race 1, if you will, could be track 1, 3, and 7. And they'll, because we see in the trailer, they block off certain areas and they're forcing the racers to go certain ways, but they could ultimately go in other ways too. So
Forza does that all the time.
Yeah. And so, but on top of that, like, I don't think it stops there. I think because you got the time trial community, they're going to have some kind of standardization for like what are the tracks for time trials, right? Nintendo does Mario Kart World Championships, so they're going to be leaning into the competitive side of things. Well, that's more than likely still going to be 12 players. Maybe it's 24, and that's great. But I mean, if everything's 24, people that are clamoring for old tracks to come back, they're gonna have to redo every single track. And I do wonder if they're like, yo, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is backwards compatible. If you want almost every old Mario Kart track, go play that game. And we're gonna put all of our new tracks on the new game, So
I feel like it's almost silly to not utilize the assets that they have that are probably very easily ported forward to just then have those standards. Because I want the asset of the track, but I want modernization in the netcode and the find a way to standardize racing without the stupid hidden stats and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, I totally agree. And Cryptic makes a good point too. He says, I also believe, based on DK, that like Tour, we're going to be getting a ton of skins. And I think that is the case. I mentioned it in that video. If you go to Mario Odyssey, you can dress Mario in his racing outfit. He's got a backwards cap on that says Famicom. It's got like the Mario motors and the Bowser oil patch. And then there's an upgraded version of that's like 8,000 total coins, and it's a helmet and the racing gear. And so like looking to games like Odyssey, I'm like, yo, I want this. Like, I want to deck out Mario in the pipe frame in like some pretty sick race gear, not just his normal bib, similar to how we saw like in, Mario Tennis Aces, where they're in tennis gear, like, and then they went crazy in Strikers, where they have all these like completely weird pieces of gear. Like it was a little bit in left field, but I think we're going to be wowed by this. And I think if they go this route or something similar, it leaves the opportunity for then like, they can give us a massive game to start with, but then they can feed us content down the road. Like, here's Kirby World, here's Star Fox World, here's Metroid World, whatever the case may be. Have fun on these tracks as well. So,
and how much more does Nintendo Switch Online cost to then get that included?
That's a good question. I've done some other videos about this as well. I kind of wonder, Nintendo's probably watching Xbox, they're watching PlayStation. I'm wondering if they don't just start including full Switch titles for windows of time that they're like, yo, if you want to play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it's going to be available on Nintendo Switch Online for this quarter.
Well, and they kind of already do that, but they do it for like 10 days or like that.
Yeah. But with their old, like this old library, you know, and again, I always go back to the Player's Choice signature series, whatever. They can say, oh, if you enjoyed that one, you can then pick it up for $40. You know? Or if you got your fill,
I would just say Nintendo, in an effort to probably stay family centric, paying for 2 Fortnite battle passes that I currently do, for one for my 11-year-old and one for me. Like, they need to find a creative way to increase the cost, but not nickel and dime you every month for a single game subscription that's not tied to your family account, because kids play this system and link it together, make it for the whole family account or whatever, and have it be clean and easy. So, because parents aren't going to understand, like, even going in and canceling crew or whatever for the account that's not mine is not easy. I have to like log in and do it. It's not super intuitive for parents, especially if they're not gamers. They just need to have it tied in with Nintendo Switch Online if they're gonna do any kind of live service.
For sure. Well, what did you think of the reveal of the Switch 2 crawler?
I mean, excited, but kind of like Johnny said. I mean, short of like the mouse reveal, I think having that rumor made me recognize what that was. But otherwise, it's like, yeah, it's what we were kind of expecting. I'm glad they wised up. I think they have had how many years since Wii U came out now to like really sit and stew and what they messed up and how they revealed something, but making it simple and easy with the number 2 there, so grandma's not going to confuse it. I am a little worried about
name.
I'm a little worried about the male end of the Joy-Con connector potentially getting bent, ruined, broken.
Nah.
But that worries me just a little bit with how rough my kids are on the Joy-Con they have. When I'm seeing them sitting there like gripping the Switch when they're doing something, has me a little bit worried. But we'll see. I mean, I'm hopeful. Maybe like it didn't look like anything on the back, but maybe some way or something on the top of the Joy-Cons or something to lock them in so that they don't.
There's a.
Is there a lock?
One of the buttons is a lock.
Okay.
Or like a release. I don't know. Like they showed a video of it.
Yeah, it's on their website. If you go to Nintendo's website, you can see the way that you have to like hit the button on the back of the Joy-Con to disconnect it. I'm hopeful that we're not going to have that, like, you know, that loose Joy-Con issue.
I'm waiting. I put in for a Dallas event. I'm waiting to see if I can buy a ticket out in the morning and buy a plane ticket back that night if I get it. But I want to put my hands on it. I'm assuming you both put in for the New York one.
Yeah.
You didn't, Johnny?
Did you see the date? Did you see the date of the New York one?
It's like
that,
April that weekend.
3rd. I cannot do that.
If it's a weekend, you could go for the day. Just
I don't know. It's like if it wasn't April, like early April,
Hey, put in and add me to your family plan. So even if you can't go but you win, I can still go for you and get footage.
Yeah, I put in my entire family plan, and I figured even if I get in and you guys don't, and Josh, you want to play, you want to pay to fly down to Dallas.
When's that at?
Dallas is April 27th. That's the day
I could do that, but I don't want to fly. Like I could just drive to New York.
Well, Stash, I know you've talked at length on multiple shows about the reveal of the Switch and all that stuff, but you've also got some other thoughts about it as well. So lay it out for us. Like, how you feeling about things?
Well, I was very happy that it finally happened, of course, because we need that to happen in order to get the ball rolling here. And the sooner that happened, the sooner it's going to get into our hands. So that's good that we got to finally see it. It was finally revealed. As far as, was there anything surprising? I mean, obviously, no, there wasn't, because we've already seen it all. And we had for months. And depending on if you believed rumors from as far back as they went, for the most part, everything was accurate. But I'm happy with what we saw, because this is what I wanted. I wanted a Super Nintendo Switch. It's essentially what we're getting. They're not throwing in any crazy gimmick that we don't need. I think the mouse is going to work out really well. I think there's a lot of potential there. I think about games that didn't come to Switch 1 that would do really well. I think of games like The Sims, The Sims 4. Now, of course, we got My Sims that just came out. I got that for my lady. She likes that. But maybe 2 years ago, she was asking about The Sims being on Switch. I'm like, you know what? I don't think it is. I don't have any interest in playing it, so I had to look it up. So no, it's actually not. Let me go hook up my PS4 for you, and I'll get it downloaded for you. So I think about something like that. I'm like, man, that's perfect for a mouse. There's a lot of applications there.
Civ 6 would be better with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, any of those PC driven games.
Yep. I've been throwing out Animal Crossing. I mean, even decorating, doing custom designs,
terraforming.
Update to the Splatoon control scheme, and we're playing with
mouse and
keyboard pretty much.
Well, no, they're gonna have a keyboard attachment. What are you talking about? We're gonna do mouse and keyboard.
We're gonna get the GameCube controller again.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential there. Obviously, with first-person shooters, I could see Metroid definitely using that application right out of the gate.
Mario Maker.
Yeah, Mario Maker, Minecraft. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a lot of application options there, which is great because no one's done this, right? And for people who only play with a mouse and keyboard on PC, maybe you'll get some people to come over, right? I don't expect a ton, but at least if you get some, that's a good thing. So yeah, that's kind of where I stand. I'm happy it happened. April 2nd will be here before we know it. I know everyone's upset that we have to wait that long. I get it. But at the same time, the same advice I've given everyone is, hey, we're just work on getting your backlog sorted out right now.
That's what I'm doing. That's what
I'm taking to do right now. Yeah.
Do we think second screen patent is real, and
that would be awesome.
That's what we're gonna see in April?
Give me that $100 attachment screen. Let's go.
Maybe.
$400 system with $100 attachment.
That would be really cool. I'd be totally game for that.
Does that patent allow it to clamshell? Do we know?
The pictures I've seen, it looks like it almost like it slides like the is that the Vita or like a different like the PSP?
Like there was those old phones that like.
Well, there's old phones, but didn't one of Sony's
the PSP,
handhelds?
I think the PSP,
like the PSP, like one of the last models of it, didn't it slide?
Yeah,
and
it slide up. Yeah,
the controls were down below, so
there's a new controller for your phone that does that. I think that they were showing off at like CES or something like that.
It was the PSP Go.
Yeah, there you go. PSP Go. That's what it was like. One of the last.
Yeah.
Models.
Here it is. PSP Go. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Hey, I'm upset that we gotta wait until April to find out what's in this direct, but we know it's all gonna leak before then, so we'll find out beforehand.
Yeah, I do expect there to be some leaks, and I do expect that February direct, and that'll at least fill out the Switch 1 release date calendar, because as of right now, all we have locked in is March 20th, right? For Xenoblade, nothing after that. First party, so they got to get that out of the way. That February direct makes total sense to me. As far as Mario Kart, being shown off and seeing the 24 slots on the racetrack, I think that's great. Obviously, the tracks are going to have to be a lot bigger. You're working with a lot more area now, so I don't know if they're going to go from 24 sometimes to 12 sometimes or what. In addition, you're gonna have to have a lot more characters if you're starting with 24 on the actual track. And I think I talked about this with you before, Josh. I know I've talked about it on the Nintendo Byte podcast, but with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, a lot of great things happened. I think some of them by chance. I do believe that was originally put out there in April 2017 to be a holdover.
Mm-hmm.
And also because a lot of people didn't have it on Wii U. Of course, I did. I'm sure you guys did. And I enjoyed it a lot. And I was happy that we had something to play until the next gen Mario Kart, the Nintendo Switch Mario Kart comes out. And obviously that didn't happen. And I think everything worked out perfect. We got the DLC, the first DLC, and then we got the 48 additional track DLC. And the way I look at it is, and you mentioned it earlier, but I think this is going to turn into Nintendo Kart. It will always be called Mario Kart. You have to have that branding, but this turns into Nintendo Kart now. And I think it's going to work brilliantly, because when you take some of these other franchises, especially some of these games that don't sell as well, like Metroid, okay? It gets all the critical acclaim in the world, but it does not sell good at all. You put it in something like Mario Kart, now you've turned Mario Kart into your actual driver to help drive sales for all of your franchises. You can literally have a cup, so 4 tracks, based on each Nintendo franchise that you want to do. And you even look at F-Zero, you got 2 tracks in the game already, and they're great tracks. But I think that's what it turns into. It might start off, this new Mario Kart, whether it's going to be called 9 or X or Crossroads. We've heard it all.
Or just Mario Kart.
Yeah, or just Mario Kart, because, this is going to be an evergreen title. We get 1 Mario Kart per console. I know there's been a lot of discussion about, is this going to be backwards compatible? Is it going to be playable on Switch? Personally, I don't think so, because it's always been 1 Mario Kart per console, per handheld, always. And if you change that up, expectations now change for your fans forever. They're always going to expect 2. I don't know if that's a good idea. Obviously, opening up to that install base, though, that's a lot of money. This could be a rare, circumstance here. So again, that's for Nintendo to decide. I guess for us to speculate a little bit. But overall, I think this probably starts off as like Mario Kart with a lot of the Mushroom Kingdom stuff intact, and the DLC is going to be where it turns into Nintendo Kart. What do you think about that?
They showed us that with 8, right?
Yeah.
Like 8 is when it became Nintendo Kart, when they added Animal Crossing and The Legend of Zelda.
Do you think it goes to a greater extent, though, like a cup for each?
I like the idea of cups. I think that's fun, because then you get,
like, Zelda could have the Triforce Cup.
Yeah,
and your trophy is literally the Triforce.
Mm-hmm.
Metroid could be like arm cannon or something.
I want Metroid as a racer.
I do too. I think if you get a cup in the game,
Can't
right?
crawl.
If you get a cup, you get a character in the game, right? I think that makes sense. That's what really would make a Nintendo Kart. Like Captain Falcon should be in the game, right?
I agree. No, I mean Metroid, not Samus. I just want a Metroid.
Oh,
I mean, if you're going to throw a Goomba in a cart,
Goomba is confirmed.
I would say, Goomba doesn't have arms, so he's just out there driving a Tesla cart.
And King Boo, why would King Boo need to drive a cart? We don't know.
King Boo is confirmed too. You can see him in the background.
yeah.
But I think
too.
I think you're right that it's gonna turn into Nintendo Kart. I think they're going to have like a tease. Like they're going to have something, because I doubt that they're going to get rid of Link and Inklings and
Inklings don't have a court, they have a battle.
They have a battle stage.
They have a battle arena, but yeah.
So I think we'll have those racers that were non-Mario, non-Mushroom Kingdom. We'll have those, and then maybe they'll give us more tracks based on those characters, and maybe we'll see Zelda.
Yeah.
Kirby's already got some courses kind of designed out with that the buffet. What's the game called? The $15 one.
Oh God, Kirby's Dream Buffet.
Yeah, just race down the buffet course.
Oh, you just spoiled one of my top or must play games.
Oh, here we go.
I think Kirby should be in there. I'm
Yeah,
surprised he hasn't been yet.
Well, was it Smash that did the
they
troll?
teased it. Yep.
That they had
Donkey
Kirby
Kong pokes him.
Yeah, it was. They were on Rainbow Road, and Kirby. But I think we'll get more Donkey Kong representation. Like we'll probably see more Donkey Kong courses. We'll get Cranky Kong, Lanky Kong, Dixie. Like I think they're gonna lean heavy into Donkey Kong this generation.
I think so. I mean, you kind of got to. You've spent the money.
Are they doing? Are they doing a movie? Are they doing a Donkey Kong movie, or is that just?
I don't know if they're doing I don't know if that's confirmed.
It's been heavily rumored. But it has not been confirmed by Nintendo. But heavily rumored and implied that the contract. What was it, Seth Rogen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Seth. Yeah.
Yeah, that the contract that he signed was for multiple movies within the Mario and Nintendo universe. The and Nintendo part was where everyone was like, okay, so
maybe
Donkey Kong's coming.
So I want Mario Kart to be live service. Like I just want it to be free to play live service, and them just get wild with their microtransactions. Give me Seth Rogen voice pack for Donkey Kong.
Yeah, they did a Keanu Reeves voice pack in Sonic.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. Yeah, just get wild. Chris Pratt voice pack, like Charlie, all the movie characters, Charlie Day, Jack Black, like that would be so cool. And then, I mean, I do think the Donkey Kong design is a skin because Peach is wearing a dress. She doesn't usually wear a dress in Mario Kart. She wears the racer
They need to
outfit.
update the music to was it Music Road or whatever and just have it play Peaches while you're racing down the piano.
Amazing.
Yeah, yes. I want it to be wild. Just completely out of Fortnite track. Let's go.
So, with all these events happening, when do you guys think Switch is going to come out? Because the last dated event is May 31st to June 1st in Seoul, South Korea. Hong Kong and Taipei are TBD, but those are the latest. So the likelihood that the console comes out before Asia's had their events is probably not super likely. So are we thinking like July, August? Or are we thinking a little bit later in like September?
I think earlier. I have a theory on this.
All right.
Okay. So, as you mentioned, South Korea, May 31st to June 1st. There's a key detail here in that the Nintendo Switch did not release in South Korea until December 2017. It launched 9 months after the US.
Okay.
They never get consoles the same date as the US, UK, Japan, and Australia. So those 4 countries will get the console first. PlayStation does the same. They don't do simultaneous worldwide launches. So
logistically, I'm sure that's hard.
It is. Yeah. From what I've read, it's extremely hard. So when I saw those dates, right, I'm like, hold up. I know this came out later. And then even Hong Kong, get this, the Switch didn't launch in Hong Kong until December 2019. 2.5 years later. So I think the Asia market has no bearing on the US launch date. So then if you look a little bit closer at the dates, right? This is what I saw. I saw that the US is going to be all wrapped up by April 27th.
And Tokyo.
Yep. And Europe's going to be all wrapped up. And Oceania, aka Australia, by the 11th, okay? So from May 11th, if you guys look at all the dates, everything happens like 1 week after each other, okay? So you look at Paris, London, you look at all the US dates, it's like nonstop, week after week. But then if you look at the last date, which is as far as the main markets that it should release in first, so you look at Australia, last date's the 11th, and then they go on a break for almost 20 days.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a really good chance it could release in that pocket in the first market, which would be US, UK, Japan, and Australia. And that's why we're actually going to be getting to play it first.
Steal all of Jeff Keighley's thunder.
Yeah. That's kind of how I look at these numbers. It's very odd that there's this huge gap. And I think there's a huge gap for a reason, and because they need all hands on deck for the launch. If I am wrong, I think it's June.
We have a hot chip for you if you're wrong.
Yeah, it's May or June.
So I'm thinking of it as how the original Switch did their marketing cycle,
because it was 3 months, right?
So they unveiled it end of October of 2016, and then another it was January. It was mid-January.
So 3 months.
So 3 months. So essentially similar to what they're doing now. It's 2.5 months, and then it released a month, a little over like a month and a half later. So I'm thinking mid-May would make sense if that's the case.
Yeah, it's the same time frame, literally.
I think if it's not that, it will be June. I think June is. But
Doom
it
is
also
a launch
weird
title. May 15th. Doom is a launch title.
Doom is a launch title.
Oh yeah, I retweeted that the other day.
Yeah,
because the date leaked last week or a couple of days ago, but I was like, that's a Thursday.
I'm still calling February 28th when Monster Hunter Wilds comes out. Somehow they're going to release it before the direct.
I think they just.
You guys played the beta?
I have not tried it yet. I played. Josh and I played it at PAX for a little bit.
I played the beta on PS5, and it struggled, man. At 30
on PS5,
30 frames.
We watched it on PS5 dev consoles at PAX, and how many times did it crash in the 2 hours we were standing there, Josh? Like 2 or 3.
I signed an NDA. I'm not allowed to say.
That's because it's only optimized for the Nintendo Switch 2, because they know that's their biggest audience. Yeah.
I do think it's coming to Switch too. Yeah, I did think it was concerning though when I was playing that beta. I was like, hope they get this figured out before it comes to Switch too.
The other factor with the date, I think from the moment I heard that PAX East moved from March to May.
Yep.
That's Nintendo's biggest opportunity outside of PAX West prior to the launch of this system, to have as many people see this thing, touch this thing prior to it coming out.
Yeah, I wonder if that's going to be another preview event. Like they haven't announced it that it's going to be at PAX,
right?
But maybe
they announced that they were going to be at PAX East 2 weeks, not even before PAX East.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe in the April direct they announced it's going to be at PAX or slightly after, because it'll be odd to not be there to launch it, and it's your biggest.
That being said, I would say you can already buy badges. They're already available. And if that announcement comes out at a direct, no one's getting it. Like their tickets are selling out.
It'll sell out
day
right away.
of. Like they'll.
No, I don't know how much they care about this, but the Super Nintendo World in Florida is opening late May. So they could launch it near it.
I think it would be good to launch it right around when school gets out, which of course is going to be end of May, like right before it. So everyone has it in their hands, ready to roll. Summer vacation, if people still do that. But at least you got your Switch. You got your Switch too.
I think the last console, I don't even know the last console. I don't know if this is true, but I think it might be the last console to launch in the summer was Dreamcast.
GBA.
GBA.
2001. I had it in time for summer school.
Okay. It just doesn't, companies don't release big things in the summer. So that's the only thing that I'm a little skeptical about. They don't.
Yeah, but I don't think most companies get the organic traffic that Nintendo gets.
Yeah, I know. I think it is. I think it is summer, June.
They could announce it. They could literally release it any day they wanted, and it would still fly off the shelves. Stash, before we got started, you were mentioning like you had some different, like that you might be on. Like you were talking with Andre, you might be onto something. Have you talked about that yet?
Yeah, that was it. It was these dates. It was that big gap, and
gotcha.
There's another piece to it. And that, I don't know if you guys remember this, but it was over in the UK. And it's the UK equivalent of, I believe, GameStop.
Game?
Yeah, Game. And there is an email to management that no PTO. I think the months was between April and June. No one can take any time off.
You know and what happened?
There was a couple other details, but it could be implied what it was, right? Is that
I'm in a business or a industry where we don't take PTO for a couple months because it's busy season, so that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. And I forget the whole body of the email, but it was pretty simple to imply by reading it that, okay, yeah, it sounds like you can't take time off because they're launching a console. We need all hands on deck.
Yeah.
Verbatim, it said we need all hands on deck for that time period. So there's a lot of things that do line up.
For sure. Well, we are at an hour already. I hope you guys are ready to dig in here because
buckle up.
Yeah, buckle up. We still got two topics. So this one we can kind of shotgun a little bit. We can always return back to it. But the direct, like your direct predictions for the rumored February direct, the rumor is that there is a niche but beloved title that will be coming to Switch 1. And so that's anybody's guess, right? Like, but we've also had games like Kirby, Planet Robobot that Nate the Hate talked about. And so, you know,
I think I know what this one is.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, yeah, let's just kind of like quickly shotgun blast. Like, what do you think is going to happen? And if it does happen in February, what do you think happens? And then we'll circle back and talk about what we think will happen in April. And we'll just kind of, you know, maybe spitball some games. And then we'll get into our top 5 must play Switch games, which won't take super long, but it's also going to be very fun because we're going to overlap and be screaming at each other, I'm sure. So,
well, we get a Zelda game every year, right? So maybe we finally get the long rumored 2-pack of Twilight Princess. And
I don't think that's the niche one, though.
That's not niche. No. But I mean, but if that's locked and loaded, why not put it out there?
Yeah, they got to fill out the whole calendar for Switch 1 because once you announce once the April 2nd direct comes, everyone's eyes are going to be on Switch and the launch. So you gotta, I really think you have to fill up that calendar in February, because I mean, you're going to be forgotten after that. So something like Wind Waker could be later in the year. I could see something like that being announced. I would say for sure, my for sure pick, it has to be logically Metroid Prime 2 and 3.
Yes.
100%.
Yes,
because
please.
you have to pull out all the stops, all the marketing stops, in order to give Metroid Prime 4 the best possible chance to, rise up and sell better, become a bigger franchise. That's the only way you do it. You can't ask the Switch install base, right, who maybe are just playing video games for the first time, here, play Metroid Prime Remastered. And then here, we want you to skip 2 and 3. Don't worry about it. Just play part 4. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine if someone asks you to watch the first Harry Potter and then says, hey, we're going to watch part 4 now. You're like, whoa. What about 2 and 3? Don't worry about it.
What happened to Cedric?
Yeah, you'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to do that, because you can't expect your fan base, you can't expect any casual gamers to go out and track down a GameCube and Metroid Prime 2, or to go grab a Nintendo Wii and get the Metroid Prime trilogy. And not only that, this is easy money. So I expect those to come out. I don't know if it's going to be a 2-pack. I think if you do that, you might water down the value of it a little bit, the value perception. So I could see them both coming out at, Metroid Prime Remaster is $40. Make them both separate SKUs. Digitally,
and available right
each.
away, because they got people to double dip. I double dipped when I did it.
I did too. Yeah. Do the digital first. I did the same thing with Pikmin 1 and 2. So do that and then go physical. But that is my guarantee pick. It's got to be, man. You have to.
I think they're going to pull a Ninja Gaiden. Like, we saw Ninja Gaiden 4 today, and then they're like, oh yeah, and here's Ninja Gaiden 2 remastered. It's out now. So I think they're gonna do that for Prime 2 and 3. I think it's gonna be a 2-pack, like Pikmin.
We getting Federation Force? Are they gonna bring?
I'm down. I'm down for a 2-pack.
Hunters. No, give me Hunters. Give me Hunters. So I think, so we know Metroid Prime 4 is coming out. We know it's a Nintendo Switch 1 game. So that's going to come out. I don't think it's going to launch near the Switch 2. Like, I think it's going to be a cross-gen release, but I think Mario Kart's going to suck up all the air of the launch. So they're going to push.
Do you think Mario Kart's a launch title?
Oh yeah, 100%.
I do too. 100%.
I think they're launching a special edition. Like, that's the rumor.
I saw that rumor too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, then so we Metroid Prime 2 and 3, that's remastered. Wind Waker, Twilight Princess would be another good one just to throw in like July or something. We also know Pokemon Legends ZA is coming to the Switch 1 this year, and that will probably be a fall title. So
hopefully it looks better.
I mean, they had more time to cook, but
you know what else I expect for Switch 1 is Super Mario Galaxy 2. It was left off the 3D collection for a reason. I've always believed that. And this is a great way to celebrate Mario's 40th birthday, 40th anniversary with Switch 1 owners. Switch 2 owners will be playing the new 3D Mario when that game launches right around the holidays, right around that October time frame. That'll be Switch 2's big holiday title, but I think Galaxy 2 HD comes out. I would love to see them do a little bit more like they did with Bowser's Fury. That'd be badass.
How about they do a very un-Nintendo thing and they bring back a game that they had 5 years ago, and they have a free update and it's just there.
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
You update it and you get Mario Galaxy 2.
No, they're gonna have 40 All-Stars,
and they bring back Mario 35.
I didn't get to say my,
but they call it Mario 40 now.
Yeah,
I get to say my title that I think is going to be the niche title. It's not Metroid. It's Custom Robo. Bringing it back. I love that series. I mean, it was on GameCube. GameCube is hot right now. It was on DS too, I think.
It is cool. Custom Robo is cool for sure.
So, to backtrack a little bit about the Mario release, I'm wondering, and I talked about it on the NPC Daily today, if they don't do a 3D All-Stars that also includes 3D Land and Galaxy 2, as well as 64 Sunshine. And within that, like the hope would be widescreen.
Yes.
You know, like a little like
yeah.
Like especially if they can be like, and wait till you see this on Switch 2, right? Like if there's stuff they can do with the DLSS and whatnot for those older games to because Nintendo is showing us very clearly they love 3DS games coming to Switch and charging too much for them in some case, right? Like Luigi's Mansion 2.
Yeah.
When did Luigi's Mansion 3 come out? How many years ago was that?
Oh my god, it's like 6 years.
So Luigi's Mansion 4.
Yeah, no, I think.
And then
well, that would be on Switch too. There's no way
to do Mario Luigi's Mansion 1.
It's gonna be on. Yeah, they could do Luigi's Mansion 1. I can see that
because it's a 3DS game.
Yeah.
No, it's a GameCube game.
Link Between Worlds.
The 3DS version of it. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That copy pasta seems to be pretty easy to
for
go from
$60.
$3DS to Switch. Yeah.
You know what Nintendo needs to figure out how to do is like the Switch should be the best place to play all Nintendo games, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know, why is it that I can play Mario 64 in 4K at 60 FPS on my PC? Why can't I play Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time, Star Fox, 60 FPS? I could play Zelda on my PC at 4K, 240 frames. It's not the best place to play all the games. So like you were saying, Josh, we need to get widescreen and give us 60 frames. You can do 60 frames on Mario 64. There's a patch to play Mario Sunshine at 60 frames. I have it, and it's great. Do it. Because
the fact
these are
that
hobbyists doing it.
The N64 Zeldas struggled on the online version.
NSO, yeah, I remember that. I remember the input lag on day one. I'm like, oh my god, come on, guys, get it together. You're the pros. I believe in you. I know you can do it. We know they can do it. They need to fix that. So if they went back and did an All-Stars where they give us better quality, or like you said, Switch 2 with the DLSS, honestly, it's very easy with that. Again, if hobbyists can do this, hobbyists. These aren't people working full time. They're literally doing it as a hobby. After they work, after they take care of all their responsibilities.
Yeah. Nintendo needs to take the approach that was it Marvel or was it Lucasfilm that somebody was going in and editing the shows and making them look better, and they hired the guy.
Yeah.
And so it's like if a hobbyist can make your stuff look better just doing whatever, instead of suing them into the ground and making
the ninjas
them pay,
will cut them up and
I mean, find a way to get them on board and pick their brain.
Yeah, I agree. Just like the
they did it.
The Mother 3 translation. Go pay those guys. Translate it.
Nintendo
what is
did that very thing.
What is Treehouse doing? Isn't that their job? Like that's part of their job to translate that stuff.
But Nintendo, what is it, like episode 196 of Nintendo Voice Chat from IGN, and they talk to the guys from Factor 5. Nintendo was like, how are you making these games run better than we do? And they're like, oh, we just completely reverse engineered your stuff. And they're like,
yeah, I remember
what?
that.
You know, like
give us that game every time that we bring that up. I want that game that's locked on a Wii U dev console.
the Wii, yeah, the what is it, Rogue Squadron 4?
Rogue Squadron 4.
Yeah.
Put those all out as a collection on
That would
Switch.
be a nice remaster. Since we're getting all these GameCube remasters, that would be a nice one to get. Rogue Leader.
We got Jedi Battles today?
Yeah, but in general, put them all together. Do the 64. But yeah,
The
get
Battle
the whole
for Naboo.
Yeah, I had that game, and I don't know where that cartridge is, but
you can drive a car in that one, like in space.
And give us Wave Race while you're at it.
Yeah, there were some Factor 5 had fun little Easter eggs because you could have all sorts of crazy stuff in the Mon Calamari Home 1 hangar to go select.
Yeah.
Okay, so we kind of got the February predictions out. Like, what is Nintendo doing in April? And I don't really say my February predictions. I'll just throw them out there real quick. Again, it's a lot of stuff I think we've seen. I was going to say Metroid Prime. My hope, because the Prime remaster is top tier. It's $40.
Yep.
I've been playing it like with these Corsair headphones. It is so eerie and like just the atmosphere, everything about it. It is like gaming perfection. Like shut the lights, like play in a dark room, get some good audio going with that game, and it's money. I even my girlfriend's son is always playing the menu screen when I drive him to school, and I'm like, oh my, it's just so good. And so I want to see a full remaster of 2. I don't want them to do the Pikmin route. I really don't. It doesn't, whether that happens or not. I really hope that we get the full. It gets the treatment it deserves because it's so good, and those games hold up when they get that treatment. I'm afraid if it's 4:3. And I mean, maybe the Wii version was widescreen. I don't remember. Like, I don't even know that I played it all that
widescreen
much.
support.
Yeah, because didn't they already do a lot of that legwork with the trilogy?
There's a good chance. So maybe if they go off of those, that will at least be something.
Pikmin 1 and 2 were widescreen. The Switch,
because those are
Switch
Wii
ones.
versions, probably also.
Because is it 2 or 3 that needed like a complete overhaul on the controls? Which one's the Wii exclusive?
3.
3.
Yeah.
Corruption.
Yeah.
So I mean that's the biggest probably hang up on that is just going through the whole game and coming up with button prompts but the dual joystick stuff for Prime is very nice. And I'm really hoping that we get away from, I know Johnny, you've mentioned this as well. We get away from stop and scanning everything, and it's just more integrated into just what you're doing especially in Prime 4.
Yeah, because Prime 1, like you're scanning everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. I know it's like you're trying to, as part of the like learning your surroundings and lore and stuff, but it's just kind of, it feels antiquated now.
Yeah, for sure. So, what do we see, Johnny, in April? What's your hopes, dreams, whatever you want? The thing that you want to see most.
Well, Mario Kart, they're going to do a big blowout for that. 3D Mario, I really want to see a new 3D Mario. But what I think I want, maybe even more, is a brand new IP from them. We haven't really seen new IP in the Switch era. We saw a few with like ARMS and Ring Fit, if that counts. And
do you think that will be the World Builder demo thing that they put out?
No, I hope not.
The beta?
I can't say much on that, but no, I hope not.
I mean, yeah, I played it also, and so you played it. Yeah.
I dabbled in it, and I was like, this is not for me, and I wish they would have kind of talked about it more so before, so they could have found people that maybe wanted to do that a little bit more.
Yeah, that's funny because I didn't much enjoy it, but I put some time in on it so I could give Nintendo some feedback.
Oh, I gave him feedback.
Yeah.
I logged into that survey or whatever that they had, and I think that was one of the things I wrote out. That was like, instead of all this cloak and dagger about kind of what it was, you should have been a little more forefront on what was going to be involved in this massive multiplayer thing, and found people that wanted to do it more so than everyone that was just signing up to take the spot to potentially be in on something unique and crazy for Nintendo, and it just ended up being kind of not great.
Exactly, because I had to like mentally it would have been nice to mentally prepare for what it was. Because when I did get into it and I'm like reading through it, I'm like, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing here? What's the point? What's the payoff?
Build a high tower.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
That's what the mouse feature's for.
This isn't very fun, but okay.
Yeah. It's very rudimentary and very tedious to even glue the stuff together to build stairs and other stuff. And
it was very odd, but at the same time I wondered if it's just because I'm old.
Yeah,
maybe this is why I'm not interested in
I think the biggest thing is
you
that
weren't
was
cranking 90s. I don't understand.
That was testing. It was testing server capacity, I think, for the most part. And
that's what I want to believe too.
Yeah.
That'd be my guess as well. I would hope. John, we hijacked it.
Yeah, that's fine. I honestly, that's really. I just want to see games. I don't really care about. I don't care about like features. I don't care about the social features that are rumored. I don't care about like themes or.
You don't want an improved eShop?
I mean, will they show that? Will they be like, "Oh, we got to improve the eShop"?
I would hope that would be a selling point for them a little bit.
I don't know. Like, you would hope so, but if they really feature it hard, then they're admitting that it sucked.
True.
And I'm like, are they going to do that? We'll see. I just hope it's better.
I'm hopeful that we see 1-2 Switch. I still don't have it. I don't own it. I bought the.
You gotta get it for the memes.
I know. I have everybody 1-2 Switch, but like the fact that they're still selling that game for $50 8 years later has me kind of upset still. Yeah. But I want something with Wii and Wii U. They had kind of lightning packaged in, like with with Wii Sports, it was great, and they couldn't even replicate that very well in Nintendo Switch Sports. But the uniqueness that was Nintendo Land, like I hope they could maybe find something like that and especially utilize the mouse feature, because HD Rumble and the stuff that kind of was in 1-2 Switch wasn't taken advantage of wholeheartedly by. I remember a Golf Story playing handheld, sitting in bed,
oh my god, the rumble!
It would vibrate so loudly. So I mean, they have a gimmick, and Nintendo's best at developing for their gimmick. I think this new gimmick is going to be easier to be utilized by third parties, but it's also subjected to people needing to have either a TV tray in front of them or a desk or something.
Okay, hold on. Why are people so like up in arms about this?
What?
Like I have a end table like right next to me everywhere I go.
But how many people have? How many people just have TV trays? Are a thing of like the 80s, like TV trays and stuff.
You don't need a TV tray. You just need an end table or a
TV. People have crap on their end tables, like
or a coffee table.
Do you want to? Okay,
or just don't use it. I don't know.
I put out the solution. It's the mouse pad. It's the PadCon.
Yeah.
It just
I'm wondering if this thing is even going to work well enough. Like if the technology has come far enough along that it's sensitive enough that you could just put it on your leg and do it. It's going to notice the subtleties
I'm going to
moving
play
around.
Splatoon on my thigh. That's what I can't wait.
Hey, you
That'll
know
look
what?
great in a public place.
they might be able to have some crazy innovation, and you don't need a plastic guitar to play like a Fortnite festival with a Joy-Con. You could probably do something crazy with a Joy-Con, like strumming a guitar.
What was that? What was that motion again?
What did I do that?
Oh boy.
It's getting a little late. It's getting a little late.
But I mean, I'm hoping that there's something that is better than the 1-2 switch gimmick that was for Switch. Go back to kind of the magic that they had with Wii and Wii U. Even though Wii U didn't get the kind of acclaim that Switch Sports or that Nintendo
It's because they didn't bundle it
did.
with every Wii U. It was only the black Wii U.
Well, that's also with you guys talking about the rumor of a second SKU. Like, don't do a second SKU. Like, just focus on the one.
Be a special edition. I don't think it's going to be like because so the black Wii U had more storage. Like that was it had more storage than it had Nintendo Land bundled. I don't think they're going to do that again. I think there were two. So there was a gray and a neon for the Switch at launch.
Yeah, but that was just Joy-Con.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I think they'll just do. They might have the special edition. I think the matte black is like the gray Switch.
Yeah,
and then they'll probably have another question.
Are they
Switch.
getting away from multiple Joy-Con kind of colors and craziness with just the inlay on the joystick on the thumbstick?
I mean, I think it looks sleek. I don't, but people probably also like the fun colors of the Joy-Con.
Well, and remember,
I'm thinking Joy-Con are going to be compatible. They're going to be compatible. Like the Pro controller is probably going to be compatible. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And remember, they've sold us so many different variants of Joy-Con. Like the colors go crazy, right? And in Japan, you could order custom Switch with the color Joy-Con you wanted.
Oh, that would be awesome if they do that here.
And this console should hopefully be powerful enough that they can handle connecting more than 4 Pro controllers. Because when you play Smash, you have to, if you're playing 8 people local, you either have to have 2 GameCube adapters, or you have to play with all Joy-Con.
Who has 8 friends that you can play with locally?
Friends. But that is once you get past 4 Pro controllers, it doesn't allow you to connect them.
Crawler's just bragging about how many friends he has over.
No, I just got 6 Pro controller or whatever. How many Pro controllers sitting behind me?
So you guys think Metroid Prime 4 is going to be a launch title?
No.
I don't think so either.
I think it's a bad idea.
I think that hurts. That hurts its sales.
I think so too. Good. So we're all on the same page there. Plus, again, they got to get out 2 and 3 first and give people some time to actually play that and beat it, especially if they expect people to buy Xenoblade. Here on March 20th, that's a long game too. If you expect everyone to buy your first party titles, I think Metroid Prime 4 will come out sometime between obviously launch and 3D Mario. Anywhere in between you want, really.
Do you think we miss out on a 3D Mario at launch? We haven't had a 3D Mario at launch since what, 64?
Yeah, at launch on a console, because we had obviously
3D, DS, and DS had one, right?
Yeah, but on an actual console, we haven't had it since 64, and I think we get Mario Kart at launch. I don't think we get Mario Kart and Mario. I think Mario is the flagship holiday title.
Yeah, 3D Mario is going to be a holiday, but the Pokemon thing messes me up because Pokemon's coming out this year. And
are we getting mainline Pokemon too, or no?
Well, Legends ZA is mainline.
Za, bro.
That's considered mainline now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think that comes out in November. We could get Mario in October like we did Odyssey.
Yeah. I think so.
I mean, I think they're going to do what they did for the Switch 1, and they release a game every month.
Yeah, I mean that played out well for him.
So here's a question then. Mario Day.
Yeah.
Right? And you think back to the 35th anniversary.
They didn't show that stuff off until like August though.
It got pushed from March
that was was that COVID year?
Yeah, so it got pushed to, they moved essentially they kind of moved it around or whatever. But
math is hard.
But now like they got Mario Day coming up. They have a direct in February. Like I almost feel a little bit nervous about
Mario 40.
What like how do they handle the 40th anniversary of Mario plus a new system with a lot. I'm assuming we're gonna have a lot of launch titles. Like we're gonna have more third-party support than we've ever seen, right? You've got
tons.
We can only assume like Elden Ring and Final Fantasy and Master Chief Collection and whatever else Xbox brings and whatever else
third-party sizzle reel is gonna be bonkers.
Astrobot, PlayStation's bringing everything over
here
too.
We go. that'd be insanity. Astrobot for Smash would be great though. So like where does a 3D Mario, even when they had the year of, they were still promoting things within Mario Maker 2, right? But a Mario Maker 3 would be a great way to showcase what the Joy-Con are going to do with the mouse. Mm-hmm. And
and the second screen.
What they could do with that, I'm thinking they do an update to Mario Maker 2 to hold us over. Like they'll just release a Mario Maker 2 update.
There's still a slot. Support. There's still a slot on that.
There's
throw Wonder in there.
They updated Switch Sports like how long after, like they added basketball like a year and a half later. Like it's not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, 3D Mario is coming. We know it's coming. Just when is it coming?
But does Nintendo really throw a whole bunch at Switch 1 for the 40th anniversary of Mario?
I think just Galaxy 2 HD. It's an excellent game.
1,000%, yeah. I'm just curious with the install base and the pull of Mario, especially if they don't do cross-gen with Mario Kart. How much do they continue?
So you're telling me I'm gonna get like an Odyssey Deluxe, like Mario Kart? Like they're gonna do Odyssey 2. That's just gonna be the same engine.
I did talk about that earlier today. Like, because of like the Switch 2, I wonder if there's like, hey, play the first game, right? If that's part of their marketing strategy. But at the same time, it's Mario, right? So they could literally do anything. I think the 3D Mario is coming to Switch to move those consoles. But I do wonder if we're gonna see like more like, again, a 3D, like another 3D All-Stars, or does 3D Land, like they're loving 3DS games. So does 3D Land get a re-release? Does Galaxy 2 get a re-release? Is it an HD remake? But again, all of these would be coming to Switch 1 and still running. But then they can also say, but remember, when you play these on Switch 2, they're going to do this or that, or whatever the case may be.
I also think, like, does it matter when they release these games, because they're all evergreen titles. They're going to sell for years on end.
Well, they want to space them out for
they want to get them on the system as early as possible.
Take advantage of their Twitter trailer releases that they do. That's all they do to promote them. But my question, I guess, is going forward this year. How, like, we're what 5 years into our current gen, and it still doesn't feel truly current. Even next gen, it feels like last gen still, because of the cross launch of most of these titles. What and Nintendo is on the heels, or is about to, probably here on the next one or two fiscal breakdowns, passing PlayStation 2 as best-selling console of all time. What
till they find units?
What do they do to not leave that 150 million user base behind when not probably 15% probably at launch are going to adopt it? That's
20
probably
million is the 20 million units is what they're hoping, is what the analysis or
okay. So yeah, about 15% then, right? Johnny, you do math for a living. Is that?
Oh my God.
Brawler, I think the answer is remasters and remakes and anything else that was planned for Switch 1 that may have had some kind of a delay, and then brand new games come to Switch 2, and because you got people that just bought it for Christmas this year. They were still promoting it, right?
Yeah.
But they also have a massive backlog of games that they can go to. And
but also anybody that's asked anybody that kind of knows anything is I told anybody that was asking me, I was like, don't buy it this year. Just wait.
Whoever's buying Switch
compatible.
1 8 years in is not going to be a day one Switch 2 buyer in any.
But if you can play everything that's on that with the minor tiny asterisks of Labo and some other stuff that doesn't, and Ring Fit Adventure, but even that, I even think Ring Fit Adventure is going to be able to be played if you want to. You'll be able just to hook up a Joy-Con connects wirelessly and it'll just work.
Yeah.
So
you just use your
the only thing on that asterisk that isn't playable is going to be Labo stuff. But even then, you probably could. So, so you think anything new coming out is just how they sell the console?
Yeah, I think Nintendo's going to actually write the book on how to do a leap in console generations, and I think it's happening in multiple ways. One, the way that they're able to, I mean, and again, it's pure speculation based on shipping manifests and leaks and all that kind of stuff. But the whole DLSS and being able to have games like Final Fantasy could potentially be a 1080p game that, is half the size of what it is on your PlayStation, but then the DLSS does all of the heavy lifting.
Yep.
That's
what the video game space has needed, is this AI upscale, because 300 gig size Call of Duty is not feasible. No. And they're not getting larger. They probably are getting a little. Witcher, how big was the Witcher?
32 gig card.
32.
Yeah, I mean, but
it was mud. It was Clay Fighter.
Yeah, what's the likelihood that becomes technology has doubled whatever the technology factor is 8 years or whatever, it doubles in effectiveness or whatever, and the Switch is probably at this point 12 years old based on however long it took to develop it. So
yeah, they used to be the Amazon Fire tablet. Now they're Switches. They take Joy-Con.
Yep. So I mean, the stuff is going to be larger, but they're still working on physical media like that. We're I guess, are we assuming that it's going to be still a cart? Like,
yeah.
They showed that picture at the end of the direct, or the end of the trailer, that shows I think
but it wouldn't be the first time that Switch or that Nintendo had a previous iteration slot in their console.
Yeah, I think based again on leaks, there's like teeth or something on the Switch 2 cart that won't go into Switch 1.
Correct.
So,
which is similar to what they did for DS and 3DS.
Kind of, yeah, with that little tab on the side. So, but I mean, I think the rumors are that we're getting 256 gigs to start on Switch like 2, and then they take these extreme cards that are up to a terabyte that are sitting at like $130 based on the GameStop.
The new
pricing.
SD Express cards, they're new. These are literally new.
And they're only $130 for a terabyte. That's not bad.
Yeah, they're not like the old SD cards. SD Express is at minimum 4 times faster than the fastest SD card. So at minimum, it's 800 megabytes per second. But like Lexar today just put out a statement, and this was on Fami boards also, about their 1 terabyte micro SD express card. And their baseline is, I think, over 900 megabytes per second. But this can go up to, from what I've heard, it can go up to, the goal is to get it up to about 1.4 gigs per second.
If Nintendo can figure out storage, they will definitely win over a lot of people, and because it's exhausting on Xbox and PlayStation managing your storage, or it costs way too much to do it.
Yeah. And so like I was saying, I think they're going to kind of write that book on like, and then the PS5 Pro has the same similar technology, this AI, right? But they're charging $700 for that console.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think, and I mean, you know, analysts have already been saying like Sony and Microsoft are going to be playing catch up with Nintendo after the Switch 2. Like, and
Sony's already way behind because they already have done their mid-gen refresh.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's a great thing when there's that competition out there, and it's getting, you know, I even look at Astrobot and I'm like, it's a good thing. Like Nintendo should take notice. Like if Sony's platformer that's inspired by their games is winning Game of the Year, then they, you know, hopefully they're putting out something that's just as good come the next iteration of 3D Mario. But I think overall they've watched this last gen struggle, right? And they've watched these, they're all business decisions. Sony doesn't want their software only on the system that's barely in anybody's hands. Who you know, then they moved also to PC. Their hardcore fan base is all bent out of shape about this stuff. And it's like,
what do they even have coming out this year? Like
Sony?
PlayStation Studios, yeah. I don't think anything that we know about.
Nate just said it's Sony has more games canceled than announced. At
Yeah,
this
yeah.
point.
They canceled. Well, supposedly canceled all those live service games.
They have Ghosts of Yotai.
Oh yeah, okay. So the last game that they released was Astrobot, which was back in September of 2024. We're now going into February. We don't know when Ghosts of Yotai comes out, right?
It's 2025.
Probably first half, but we haven't also seen anything, so maybe not. Maybe
Wolverine was supposed to come out this year, but I think that is now.
Nobody's seen anything of that.
I don't see that coming out this year.
But like Xbox just had their direct, and like they have more than Sony, and that stuff's going to come to Nintendo anyway. So like Nintendo's in a very good position,
and they probably have Square on the hook for something too, because we haven't seen a lot
wasn't
from
the
Square.
rumor like 5 Square games?
Yes, five titles. Square Enix was in the SKU. There were SKUs
that's Final Fantasy for sure. They could be Final Fantasy 4. I could see 14, 16, and then set the 2 7s.
A proper 15 too, because Switch only got the Pocket.
Oh, the chibi one. I like the chibi one.
But that would put every single probably Final Fantasy. They could probably get 11 to, because didn't 11 just get like relaunched on Xbox or whatever? The MMO.
The 11 or I'm thinking 13. There's 13X2. I don't know. They have weird names.
Yeah, they got
13X2. What did Square help name the Xbox?
I expect Kingdom Hearts for sure.
Oh yes,
yeah.
Native. Yes, not the cloud crap. I think anything that got cloud releases on Switch will come to Switch 2 natively.
Control.
Yep. Yeah. Because if they were willing to go through all the effort to get the cloud version
too.
It's already in the list.
Switch 2.
Now, if you bought the cloud version, do you think you get the native version for free?
No, you get a middle finger.
Yeah.
Why not?
I have Control and I have Guardians of the Galaxy. I bought them for science.
You probably made your money back. You're
How'd that work?
Actually, I don't think, like back then, I don't think I would have had I would have been able to make my money back.
Well, you can make your money back now when you compare them.
Yeah, what about Mortal Kombat 1? Like,
oh god, that was I had 11. You bought 1. I had 11, and
I made like
that was
$1,000 off that.
That was mud.
Off that video, off those videos. All right, sorry.
Just telling people not to buy them. That's crazy.
I think what we're not thinking about is the Switch 1 this year is going to be carried by Pokemon. Like, we're gonna have ZA, and then there's a rumor remake too. Like,
is there any spot in this world where ZA gives 150 million people the middle finger? And
no way. It might be cross-gen, but it's not gonna leave them.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think the best case scenario for everybody would be, of course, comes out on Switch 1 and it runs better on Switch 2.
Play better on your Switch 2.
Everybody wins, and they sell a ton. But yeah, I do think we get another.
The trees look remake. Like they did 2 years ago on your Switch, and if you want to see the bark and the leaves, you gotta get the Switch 2.
Yeah,
I'm trying to.
It's going to be an exciting year. I think it's going to be, for Nintendo fans, our wallets are going to be crying. Like, they're going to be crying, especially. Yeah. I mean, because I can tell you right now, I want to play Halo on my Switch 2 if that's an option.
Speaking of that was another thing I was going to mention about Metroid Prime 4 being at launch, is that I expect Master Chief Collection to be wanting to be there at launch. And if not, I expect Call of Duty to be there at launch, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't want Metroid going up against Halo, for people's money, going up against Halo, Call of Duty, plus the other first-party titles they release at launch, like Mario Kart. Not everyone is going to be like us and buying whatever games we want, you know how it was growing up?
Infinite has a free-to-play multiplayer suite that Xbox might just put that out, and you just can download that and play multiplayer.
First, I want the direct to open with like Master Chief on the Switch.
They were not gonna do that.
And
they would not do third party.
Is this an Xbox? Like, that would be incredible. Or this is an Xbox, whatever it is. But right. I was just thinking the only way it works that Metroid Prime 4 launches with the Switch 2 is if it's the only game with the Switch 2. Because then people will, that's the only thing they could buy. So, like,
meaning no Mario Kart at launch.
Yeah, no Mario Kart at launch.
I agree with you on that. It that would work. And are you guys in the camp that you think it's coming to Switch 1 and 2?
Mario Kart?
No, Metroid Prime 4.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I think they showed us Switch 2 footage in that trailer. It looked too nice.
I kind of agree with you on that. I think they have to, out of necessity, release it on both, because again, it's Metroid. They need all the sales they can get. You can't abandon 150 million. So you do that, and then you take advantage of the launch hype. But we'll see what Nintendo ends up doing. I mean, there's so many games they can show.
I don't think they could backtrack, because they said Metroid Prime 4 will be on Nintendo Switch.
So I don't think they could backtrack on that. When Best Buy had Game Club or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that's canceled by this point.
The Gamer Club. I stacked as many years as I could before they canceled
that was the furthest out title that you could buy. It was closing down, and I bought it, and I think it got refunded, or you don't get charged with Best Buy until it ships. But yeah.
Okay. Are we ready? Are we ready to pick 5 games?
Now, all right. So they can't be repeats.
Once it hits the list, you have to have a different.
Can they be non-Nintendo games, like non-Nintendo made games?
These are your must-play Switch games. So if it's Balatro or Vampire Survivors, like, all that's fine. Like, all that's like
stop spoiling it. No.
If somebody had picked up a Switch this holiday, and they stumble across this show, and they've already listened for an hour and 44 minutes, and they want to keep going.
But Josh is going to break this out. So
Well, I saw there was a podcast. I don't forget what it's called, but it was a 6.5 hour podcast. We're fine.
Oh my goodness.
That's just a whole day live stream. That's not a podcast.
That's wild. So, okay. I'll let
I should go last, and I'm gonna just mention why is because we did this yesterday on Nintendo.
Really?
So I already have my list, and we actually did in a very similar style. So I have a lot of games obviously on my list.
Okay.
So I'll be able to make sure that I don't have any duplicates.
I'm going to say this now. I did not listen. I had no idea that like.
Oh no, I didn't think you did. Yeah.
This literally hit me as I was.
This is the time to do it.
Driving tonight, and I'm like, that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah. So, if you have a Nintendo podcast, right, this is the time to look back because it's going to be full steam ahead very soon here. I mean, you're going to be talking about Switch 1 anymore.
Right.
Yeah. Perfect time.
Okay. Well, then, Johnny, I'll let you kick it off.
Oh, man. I mean, I'll take Mario Odyssey. I think you have to play Mario Odyssey. I know a lot of people have, but not. I mean, there's 150 million Switches and only 20 or like 30 million sales. So some dummies out there haven't played it.
Okay. All right, Crawler, you can go with your your pick next.
The ultimate party game, Settle It and Smash.
Okay. Smash Bros. Ultimate. All right, I'll go third just because Stash said he wanted to go last. I'm gonna go a little. I'm gonna go a little outside of the box here and say Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
I mean, you got to. It's the best-selling game on Switch by far.
To play it,
yeah. I think that's a good pick.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go with one that's it's a little probably unusual, right? But it signified something important. A new relation. I say a new relationship, but the relationship went to a new level here, and that was with Switch getting the exclusive Square Enix game Octopath Traveler, because that right there set us up for Live Alive. Right after that, then we got Dragon Quest XIS, which the S of course stands for Switch, and it was so good, that version, because it had 2D, a full 2D mode, which is insane, and the fully orchestrated soundtrack. It was so good that they ported it to PS4 and Xbox, the Switch game. Right? And it sold better than the original PS4 and Xbox game, a Switch game.
And Octopath eventually came to Xbox as well.
Yep. And then we ended up getting Super Mario RPG. So Octopath Traveler really set us up for something special. And as we know, that's going to carry in. We already know that's carrying into Switch 2.
Yep. We'll eventually get Chrono Trigger.
We will. It's the 30th anniversary this year. HD
we got
2D, baby.
We got Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D
3,
too.
And then 1 and 2 HD 2D coming out this year.
This year, yeah.
All right, chat.
I like that.
Chat is calling us out. We got to give more reasons why we're choosing these games. We gotta.
I mean, all right. Why would you play Mario Kart?
I think the first 3 picks from all of us are pretty self-explanatory, but
all right,
they are
Johnny.
pretty self-explanatory.
All right. I'm gonna steal one of Josh's. Metroid Dread. Everybody needs to play Metroid. Like I'm so frustrated as to why Metroid isn't more popular than it is. Like the top selling Nintendo Switch games are what, 30 million, 40 million. Nintendo or Metroid Dread sold 3 million. Like that's That's a travesty. And I think Metroid Prime Remastered sold 1 million or maybe even less than 1 million.
Yeah, it's dreadful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice pun.
Thank
So
you.
I think it was a good pun. Yeah. But I think what we can do is like, because this is on my list. So I'm just gonna say why, right? Like why this game would be on my list. And it's, how many games do you guys know that I've played more than once ever?
I didn't realize you ever beat a game.
Right? So
you don't, Johnny. So
I beat Mario and Zelda games. That's all I do.
So what happened is I played I finally completed Samus Returns on my 3DS. And
That'd be a good port.
And then immediately wanted to jump back into Dread because of I'm like, this was so fun. I want to experience. I realized something as I was playing through Dread. I played through most of my Switch games that I beat so quickly that I don't even really remember a lot of it. Like it was just such a blur that playing through Dread again was like, it was almost like a new experience. And that game does so many things so right. And I mean, I can go on a whole rant on the way I feel like Nintendo has finally been able to realize like the games that they wanted to create in the 80s and the 90s, they're doing now, right? Like the way Samus is elegant but violent and unwavering when she stands in front of these like towering bosses and just literally fight, just shoots Kraid right in the face as he's like screaming at her.
Would you want Super Metroid in that engine?
Oh, absolutely, 1,000%.
I feel like that's kind of a layup, right? If they wanted to, like,
yes,
totally.
Yeah, if they could find a team to remake every 2D Metroid in this engine while still continuing to make new game where we could kind of get a back and forth, like I would be over the moon. I just don't know that it has sold enough to justify it, but it I don't know why people don't play this game. I don't know if they're too difficult, but I feel like they've made them like Dread there are a few things you can do to like there's a term for it, like the speedrunners and stuff, where you're breaking the sequence or whatever. Like
sequence breaking.
There's sequence breaks, yeah. And
I did the term for breaking the sequence. Sequence breaking.
I did it. I did it unintentionally. My very first playthrough.
Originally, on the playthrough because we were talking about it.
Yeah, and then
I think a lot of it has to do like I've made videos about Metroid and people are always like, I just don't like backtracking, and I kind of get that. Like, it would be frustrating and some of the times you just don't know where you need to go. So I can understand that part being a bit frustrating, but I mean, I think the payoff is so good and the atmosphere, I think the difficulty is satisfying. Like it's probably one of the more difficult Nintendo made games.
It is. The only reason I got hung up the second time through is because I knew about the way to use the morph ball to kill Kraid, and I was like, I want to experience that, right? And so, because it was my second time through, I'm like, well, I'll look up, because I played through the game the first time without looking anything up, but I'm like, I want to know what I have to do here, and I literally I spent multiple days running around backtracking, and then it turned out I needed to jump off of an enemy a certain way so it would knock me up onto another platform that I could then continue on. And then once I did that, I was like, oh, this is easy, and I completed the rest of the game without looking anything up. Maybe that's what they need to do, is add a little more accessibility where there's like almost like a tracking thing where you can see where you need to go back to, like make it even easier, maybe add more fast traveling. I'm not sure, but make stuff, it'd fall on the designers to make it a little more optional. But there's also, there's the whole thing about Metroidvanias is like when you see an area, and the same thing happens in Zelda where you're like, I'm gonna get there
I want to go
eventually.
there.
Yeah, and I wanna get there, but I know I'm gonna have to come back to it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, and again, we're in a different era with gamers now as well, where it's like,
We are.
things are, everything's Fortnite, everything's Marvel Rivals, like that's like I get it. So it's
I think it's the fast travel too, man. Like if you think about it, we didn't have obviously fast travel growing up in the 80s, 90s,
You had
early
Mega Man code. You had
2000s.
Mega Man codes.
Yeah, exactly. We were used to going back and forth in games. I mean, look at games like Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest. You don't know where you're going when you're a kid.
yeah, Link's Adventure or whatever.
Yeah.
Zelda 2 was
Zelda
like
2, same way. Yeah,
so
there's no
confusing.
instruction, no fast travel. And Metroidvania, like that is the huge part of it. Is again, yeah, finding places on the map. Like, okay, I see that item up there, but I definitely can't reach it. So I'm either going to need to get an item or maybe I'm going to learn a double jump later in the game. But you know that and you mentally mark that, right? And like you said, Zelda's the same way. You see a heart container off in the distance, you're like, wow, I don't have what I need to get that now. I'll come back to it later. But with these Metroidvanias, it's like you do have to like literally go all the way back there.
Mm-hmm.
There's really not fast travel, but that's the beauty of it. And maybe our generation appreciates that more because we grew up with it, and the new generation does not.
Well, there's an element of something special coming from the very first Metroid to the second Metroid. Like there's a massive nostalgia pull. The
Yeah,
first
there
Metroid
is.
was so difficult. I was too
Mhm.
young. I was, like I want to actually go back and play the first Metroid, not Zero Mission, but the first NES game, and
I
just
played
like,
it.
Yeah,
Or just 6 months ago, maybe. I did it video on my channel. Highly recommend it to go
Yeah.
back to. Great time.
yeah. I want to try it, and but like Super Metroid's like in my top 5 games of all time,
Yeah.
right? And so there's definitely a nostalgia pull there, but like Dread is just, it's like chef's kiss. There's just it's so good, and it makes me sad that more people don't. I mean, I remember even trying to convince my boys to try to play. Like, I'm like, they're like, nah, I'm good with I'm good with Call of Duty. I'm good, and I'm like, you're missing out on like some of the greatest, like novels of our time, right? But
Yeah.
in game form. And that's the other thing that Metroid Dread did so well, is it told a story that was just on top of gameplay, which was, I think, Johnny, I know you're not a huge story guy, but it was bite-sized enough that I feel like it kind of fit and didn't break up the gameplay too much. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge story guy. I mean, I know what happened in that game, and I thought it was pretty cool, but I didn't play it for the gameplay is what draws me in.
Yeah. Okay.
Even the story leading into Metroid Dread, like I always think that has to be mentioned. Originally announced June 2005, canceled. Everyone was so upset. They were so excited. We all were that we were getting a 2D Metroid, and then it returns back in 2021. That was insane. Like that was the biggest thing when I heard Metroid Dread. I'm like, no way! What? Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? This is crazy. Maybe Earthbound does have hope.
I love it. I love it. Even Nate in chat right now, he's like, I need jump into Dread and Prime. You really do.
Yeah.
You like 1,000% do.
It's prime time to do it.
And you can and once you scratch that itch, there's what, like 4 more Metroid games that you can play on NSO.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, the GBA games, Fusion and Zero Mission.
Yep. And Super Nintendo.
And I bet you Samus Returns from 3DS makes its
that's
way
a for
over.
sure port.
Yeah, that's one of those games that, along with Link Between Worlds that will come to Switch One.
That
That'll be
game
part
was
of those
featured in
remasters.
the 2016 Nintendo World Championships. Didn't they speedrun part of Samus Returns?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Okay, was that better, Cryptic? Did we go
That was
in
like
depth
20
enough?
minutes for
'Cause-
Maybe
Metroid,
too
so I don't know
long.
if we can keep
So
doing that
we
for
got-
every game.
We got 4 hours left now. No, Crawler, what's your what's next on your list?
Mine's kind of a twofer because one's free. But Tetris Effect Connected is like one of the pinnacle, like just a great Tetris game. But just it's a great puzzle game. If you're into any kind of puzzle game, like it has the speed and the like the hecticness of Tetris, but it also is made by the same people that made Luminous. So it's got some of the visual representation that you get from Luminous, which is really cool. And then tacking on top of that, because it's free and included within your Switch Online, is Tetris 99, just because it's a great way to have that. There is multiplayer in Tetris Effect Connected, but just having that quick, easy jump in and the themes that they add in occasionally with Nintendo Switch titles is really great. So Tetris, if you haven't played Tetris, that just Game Boy and the first iteration that I had, like playing that just it's nostalgia pull.
Oh yeah, love it. That's a great one there. Let's see. I guess the next one falls on me, and I'm gonna go. I can't believe nobody has said.
I'd say we've all danced around it. Maybe we're saving it because it's easy and it's a layup.
Right.
Yeah.
Say
One,
it.
two,
There's
switch.
a handful of
Yeah.
The question is which one is it? I think both are going to end up on the list, but which one are you picking top?
Oh man, I feel like I like them both the same, but for different reasons. I like the gameplay better of Breath of the Wild, but the storyline better of Tears of the Kingdom. And so,
Really, I'm kind of the other. I'm the other way.
oh, interesting.
I like all that, just the create your own kind of solution to all the shrines and stuff. But just the novelty of walking out of the Shrine of Awakening, and you don't get that back after playing Breath of the Wild. Tears of the Kingdom didn't have the same hit, but like I enjoyed the puzzles a lot more in Tears of the Kingdom.
I think it literally boils down to we did not see the viral videos of people doing the craziest thing,
The flying machine
themselves across the world, and you know that literally, and at times I felt like the sometimes the building aspect in Tears of the Kingdom felt a little off, but I loved the characters and the story. Not that the story was bad in Breath of the Wild, but I just wanted more Ganon, Ganondorf.
Well, the payoff for like Terrytown in Breath of the Wild was a lot better than it was in Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Like there was you don't get it back after Breath of the Wild, I guess. I'm on board with that.
For I think Breath of the Wild, I think I would choose it over Tears of the Kingdom.
I put it at 7. Yeah. I put 7 Breath of the Wild for me, but
because I think it was just so special. Like it was just such a unique experience that I was not expecting to like it as much as I did, and it just holds like a very special place for me. So I think Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom is phenomenal too, but it's hard to choose between both of them.
It really is. Yeah, they'll both end up there for sure. Dash, any thoughts on Breath of the Wild?
What, Breath and Tears of the Kingdom?
We'll do Breath right now.
Right?
I'll go with Breath of the Wild on this one. Yeah.
I mean, I loved it, of course. You know what I did? I did something that I hadn't done since I was a kid, and this is when I was working at Lone Depot, and I should have. I was always working. I worked crazy hours, but I really wanted to make sure that when I did get to play it, I was as efficient as possible, right? Because I didn't have a ton of time. And I found a shrine map on the internet, right? It was a photo that showed where the shrine is, but did you guys know that it's not like
some are buried?
Yeah. So this gives you an idea, right? So I found a blown up image of it. I sent an email over to FedEx Kinko's. Got it printed on like a 18 by 24. So I literally got a map. I got a Sharpie that I like cling to the map, and I brought that everywhere I went when I played the game. So when I'm playing it, like I can very efficiently, I'm like, all right, so I know I need to go over in this direction now. I'm like pulling up my map on the screen and then pulling it up on my actual map. I'm like, okay, so it should be around here. And dude, it was just so much fun. I hadn't done that like since I was a kid. And I remember having to do that on the first Zelda and on Link's Awakening.
Yeah.
On the Game Boy. But yeah, that game was special. Open world Zelda. I mean, those are my favorite games of all time. The first game I ever bought was Zelda on NES. I have stories for days about Zelda. So yeah, it was very special. I love them both. I love them both for different reasons. But yeah,
sure.
Breath of the Wild should be there. It was the day one game.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. You got number 8 spot. What are you going to?
So I'm going to go with something that happened for the first time on Switch. Mainline Pokemon on a home console.
Good choice.
That was a huge deal. And
why is it Arceus?
Yeah, right. No, you know what? I'm not even going to say Arceus in general, but that is my favorite one. I think it's just Pokemon in general on Switch. I count how many games there are. There's 23 Pokemon games on Switch.
Mm-hmm.
And we still have ZA coming. And I still think we get another remake, a gen remake. I think minimum there will be 26 Pokemon games on Switch.
Oof.
One at the end of the day. That is insane. Like, to go from, of course, never having a mainline Pokemon on a home console. And obviously it's a hybrid now, but just what a way to make an entrance on your first home console with over 20 games. It's insane.
Yeah.
So that was special.
That's a good one. Okay. It's almost 1 a.m. So Johnny, let's go ahead and do 2. And
do 2. All right. Well, I was going to do Pokemon Legends Arceus, but I guess that's done. But I do think I love Pokemon, and I think you should play Legends Arceus the most. So,
yeah.
I'm going to go with Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Ooh, okay.
Because I think it is the most accessible of the 3. It is the cutscenes are incredible. The combat is understandable. I feel like I get confused in 1 and 2, but 3 is really good. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Xenoblade 3, and then I was ready for 1.
I'm sorry.
Let me go with. I'm gonna go with Super Mario Party Jamboree. I think we need to put a. We have to put a Mario Party on there.
Great choice.
That's probably the best one, I would think. I mean, Mario Party Superstars is very good. Super Mario Party, I'm sure people like it, but it's not my favorite.
Yeah.
Jamboree has great modes, a lot of stuff to do in it, and if you want Mario Party, it's the one to go with.
1,000%, yes. Brawler, how about you? You got 2?
Yeah, I can give you something. So my indie darling Any guesses, Josh?
Either Stitch or Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
So yeah, if there's a reason everyone says Silksong when any live stream for any console, any publisher comes up, Hollow Knight is. We talked. I mean, take the love that was for Dread and the kind of what's there with a Metroidvania, but add in Dark Souls difficulty, and it's very rewarding when you can defeat a boss and feel accomplished with it. I was debating between Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and 3. I'm content with 3. I was leaning towards 2 mainly just because it went in there, but I'll leave it off for right now. And I'm going to say Monster Hunter Rise. Just because that was... for Josh and I specifically, that got us through many nights of the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
That was just we had a hunting party and multiple nights until 1 or 2 in the morning, probably just hunting. And I think that was for anybody that didn't get into Monster Hunter with World, this was a great entry point, especially being a Switch game. So.
Love it. Cryptic actually put one that I was going to put next, which is Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Oh, I always forget that that's on there.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. So Marvel Ultimate Alliance is like, not only was it just a super fun game, it was a game.
It was relaxed enough. It was relaxed enough to play while you did it.
Yes, but at the same time, if you wanted to go like I'm like on the cusp of being able to take my character to 300. I'm right there. I need like the white crystals or whatever to be.
Yeah, I don't know what level my Nightcrawler is, but it's up there.
Yeah, and I mean we spent many hours playing through that game, and it was a great story. It was Team Ninja was that did it. It felt like it really progressed that series in a fantastic way. It was very comic. It felt like a very comic book, and so yeah, it was really good. I think I'll take Cryptic's other one too, which was Luigi's Mansion 3, just because it looks so good on Switch and does one of those things where like the way you felt, like the immersion, you felt like Luigi was terrified, and so I'm like 2/3 of the way through it as well. Like, and I've loved every time I've picked it up, even some of the puzzles being really challenging and whatnot. Like, I'm like, this is top tier, like really good. So we're at number 14. So Stash, you got 2 for us?
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to go with a game that I never thought we were going to get a remake for. Truly did not. And I kind of mentioned it earlier, but that's Super Mario RPG.
Mm-hmm.
One of my all-time favorite RPGs. Rented it the day it came out at Blockbuster. Literally remember seeing it the day it was there. And I'm like, what is this? And it was like a couple months before 64 was coming out. And that was like really my first, I don't know, I'd say real deep dive, like introduction into an RPG that I played beginning to end was Super Mario RPG. I've been hooked ever since. But at the same time, I got to just mention that we got 4 Mario RPGs on Switch in 3 different universes. We got the Mario RPG, we got the Paper Mario, and the Mario and Luigi. That's also something I never thought would happen on one console, which is just absolutely wild.
Yeah.
No less within 18 months of each other. We got 3 of them.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. I'm like, what is going on? This is wild. What is Nintendo doing? This is unlike them. And then I'll go with another remake, because I know you guys are going to probably say the other ones I probably want to say. Link's Awakening.
Ooh,
Again, love the
okay.
game.
Yep.
Played it on my OG Game Boy. Then played it again on my Game Boy Color with the warm light.
Amazing.
One of my favorites, man. Again, didn't have Link's Awakening on my bingo card, but now that we have that engine, and now that we've had that, and we've had Echoes of Wisdom,
Mm-hmm.
you know, what's next? It's exciting. I think we get more in that engine. Just a matter of
hope
which
so.
direction they're going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So very exciting. Can't wait to see what's next.
Oracle and Seasons, Minish Cap. Link
Yeah.
to the Past.
You'd hope so. And Link to the Past would be my number one choice for sure.
All right, Johnny. Pick number 5.
This is tough because I have a couple in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I have to shout out to an indie, to the indie.
Yep.
Balatro.
Okay.
Is I'm actually playing. I've been passively playing it here, and it's just so good. It's one of my most played games on the Switch in general, and I just think it just surpassed 5 million in sales, and it deserves all the success. And if you haven't played it, you definitely should.
I still need to pull the trigger on it one of these days. One of these days. Crawler, how about you? What's your last one?
So I'm doing in the similar vein that we have Pokemon. There's been a great resurgence and some classic games brought back for TMNT.
Oh,
so we have Shredder's Revenge, which is a great new entry.
So good.
And there's the whole collection with the Cowabunga collection, which is so many classic games that we all kind of played way back when. But then there's also a good Hades-like mixed in there with Twisted Fate. Isn't that what it's called?
Splintered Fate.
Splintered Fate. Which is a great way to take a genre, because we haven't talked about Hades yet on here, but like it's that genre of the roguelike and kind of taking those upgrades as you go. So kind of an all-encompassing, just check out the TMNT games on Switch, because they are definitely all top tier.
Yeah, I reviewed it on my channel and absolutely loved Splintered Fate. Loved it. Highly recommend it. Anyone.
Yeah, and Shredder's Revenge was so much fun.
Oh, that game's the shit. It's so good.
It's so good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the best Turtles beat 'em up.
Yeah.
And it's Turtles in Time.
Yeah, just so good. And the continued support with it's been amazing too.
Yeah, we just got DLC a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Yep. And they have like 8, 9, 10 characters on there that you can be, I think, now.
Yeah, it's amazing. Can't wait for the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. Well, Tears of the Kingdom is not on our list yet, you guys. And I'm gonna throw a major curveball right now. And I'm gonna there's too many games.
Yeah, and Cheesy's not here because there'd be a Splatoon game on here.
No, Splatoon doesn't belong on there.
Yeah, I was gonna say Splatoon 3.
Animal Crossing. We didn't say Animal Crossing either.
The best selling game on Switch.
Yeah. But I'm gonna base it on I've never laughed harder with a game than a little indie called Heave Ho.
That was going to be my honorable mention, but seriously, I was going to plug that in at the very end if nobody said it, because we had way too much fun with that.
Yeah, it is.
I agree. That deserves. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Dash, have you played Heave Ho?
No, I just pulled it up. I'm looking at it on Steam. I'm like,
It's
"Oh, what is
so
this?"
ridiculous. I think it's only local multiplayer.
I wonder
right?
if Steam has a way that you can kind of remote in with the other people, but
Mhm.
yeah, it needs online because it is
Yeah.
it's we laughed until what 3 o'clock in the morning, and we weren't
Oh.
even drunk or doing anything. It
I
was
couldn't.
just
I couldn't see. Like
we were crying. Whose hand is grabbing this? And
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Every time I've
and your
played
crazy little spaghetti balls or
Mhm.
what your characters just look crazy, and yeah,
the sound
it's
effects are wild, and you're trying to race,
Oh,
and yeah,
It's
good
Devolver
time.
Digital.
Yes.
They
yeah,
love them. Hung out with
Yeah.
them at E3 3 days straight. Party with them.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're awesome. This was obviously back in the day. They've grown so much now. Like it's great to
Right.
see. But yeah, they make really fun games.
Yeah. So I know this list is.
I was
there's-
gonna shoehorn that in if nobody said it because
Yeah.
it was on my list too.
There are people screaming at us. I guarantee it. But
Animal Crossing.
I know. So
Well, Steve could save it.
yeah, he got the last pick.
I mean, here's the thing. For me, right? Animal Crossing, wouldn't make my list.
Mhm.
If this was a list for the people, what I think were the most influential Switch games, all day. It's on all of our lists, right? Because it saved a lot of people's sanity, I'm sure, during COVID.
Mhm.
I know I bought my lady the Switch Animal Crossing Switch bundle. Best investment ever.
Yeah.
Like she didn't lose her mind, and she's still playing other video games now. I got her back into it, which is it's always great when the lady plays video games too. It's always a huge plus. So yeah, if I was making the list for everybody, I'd put it on there, but I'm not, so ain't going on there.
Screw you, Tom Nook.
There's like so many directions that you could go. But I will go with an indie title because I did have one indie title I wanted to throw on there. It was a game that I helped kickstart many years ago that finally came out. They have DLC coming out this year. That's Sea of Stars. Absolutely love this game. Excellent RPG. If you grew up playing RPGs during the Super Nintendo, PS1 era, this is a great game for you. They have the lead composer from Chrono Trigger working on the game, and they're back for the DLC as well. So I'm just really proud of them because I kickstarted this right in the beginning, and as you know, if you kickstart something in the beginning, it's a long time, it's a long wait, and you actually don't know what's going to turn out. Because I've had other games I've kickstarted that were presented one way, and the final product is like nothing like you claimed it was going to be, and I'm like, what is this? That's a whole nother story. I have one specifically, but it was great to see it do so well, and I'm proud of it. I'm excited for that DLC to come out too.
Okay, I'm gonna go back over the list real quick, and then we're gonna wrap this up. So, number 1, Mario Odyssey. 2, Smash Bros. Ultimate. Number 3, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Number 4, Octopath Traveler. Number 5, Metroid Dread. Number 6, Tetris Effect Connected / Tetris 99. Number 7, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Number 8, Pokemon. You can pick your favorite. Number 9, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. But I think we would probably all agree just the series. Like just play them all. Number 10, Super Mario Party Jamboree. Number 11, Hollow Knight. Number 12, Monster Hunter Rise. Number 13, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. 14's Luigi Mansion 3. 15, Super Mario RPG. 16, Link's Awakening. 17, Balatro. 18, Turtles games. 19, Heave Ho. And 20, Sea of Stars. That's a pretty solid
I can
list.
live with that list. Yep.
That's a honorable mention. Definitely Animal Crossing. Tears of the Kingdom for sure.
It
Like,
just shows how
those two are on
how many
list
good games
anyway.
there
If you're
are.
looking for what to play on Switch,
yeah, say that again, Johnny.
it just shows how great the Switch's library is. Like I think there's games that we could name all day that are worth checking out on the Switch that we haven't mentioned. And it's just I don't know, the Switch is just, I think it's the best system ever.
yeah. I didn't prep. I just had my Switch open and I was looking at games.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many games we could have put on there. We could have we could have put on 50, no problem.
Yeah. And if Cheesy was here, Splatoon 3 is probably on there.
It would only be Splatoon. Jeez.
Oh, the Splatoon
loves
games.
that series. What the heck?
You know, I mean, and we never mentioned like Minecraft. We never mentioned like Fortnite or any, you know, these are all games that are on Switch as well.
Or the Impossible ports.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
or,
Doom and
Witcher.
Stardew Valley is a game that is yeah.
Oh, yeah. My girlfriend's playing it literally every night.
Mine does too. That's what she played after Animal Crossing.
She just got married in the game the other day. So
Xbox and PlayStation games too. Never thought I'd see the day where we have Microsoft and Sony games on Nintendo console.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And we're just going to see more. Like, we're going to see more.
And MLB The Show will actually be playable on the next Switch.
Yes. Well, I think this is probably the longest NPC we've ever done. We're almost at 2.5 hours. And so it's 1:13 in the morning. Johnny, I am so sorry. I hope you don't have an early day tomorrow. And
I'm playing Bellatra all night, boy.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. That's good. Chat, you guys have been amazing. Thank you for hanging out this whole time and just keeping the chat moving. Seriously, you guys are the best, and appreciate you guys taking the time on short notice to be able to jump in and do this. And remember to check everybody's channels out. You know, Thunderstash Gaming, Communication Air, and Johnny Bo, and Crawler over on TikTok and stuff. So we appreciate you guys, and we will see you in the next one. Bye now.
Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da.